So what's up everyone, and welcome to another Warframe Tennogen video. So in this video, royalties amongst us, and Hitsu San has done it again with the release of yet another amazing skin for a frame. His latest release is titled the Emperor Frost Skin, and it's definitely of Regal design. For those of you unfamiliar with Hitsu San and his work, he is one of the more popular of the Tennogen developers in the group, and he has come out with some really popular products including the Hagoromo Zephyr skin, the Kadudo Excalibur skin, some Sandanas, the Visage Nova skin, and one of my favorite, the Alada Mag skin. Now when he introduced the Emperor Frost skin, I looked at it and I was seriously impressed with it, and I was hoping that DE would eventually put it into the game, and when it came out in the recent release, I was really excited and quickly obtained the skin, and so I thought I would make this video right here. Now what's very interesting is I've always liked the default Frost look. I think he's one of the better looking frames in the game, and many people may have different interpretations of his theme, but for me, I've always thought that he has that interesting gangster underworld sort of look. He has that deep trench coat sort of style, and it almost looks like he would work well with Don Corleone's group or Scarface's Hitman. And so yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be a space ninja, you might as well look the part, and so I have always found that Frost looks really good. Now I tend to like to see him in a much more darker look, which is here because of course my theme is more of an underworld sort of gangster style, and black always looks better in that situation, but I can understand why they chose white because of course Frost is Frost, and if you're gonna go with ice, then you would expect it to be white. So yeah, I mean, his design is very unique, it fits well, it looks very sleek, and I've always thought that although the patterns are kind of wild, they do look quite nice. So what's interesting is from overall glance, I've always found that Frost was a good design. I never really thought about replacing Frost's skin because of the fact that his original skin looked really good, and the only reason why I went and got the Emperor's skin is because after Hitsu San finished with it, he just took it to a completely different level. Now of course Digital Extremes did release their own deluxe skin, which is the Deluxe Harka Frost skin, and as much as I really like this skin, it is a completely different theme in that it kind of looks like a medieval look rather than a gangster look. So there is really no conflict. I mean, if you do like this medieval look, then the deluxe skin will probably be good. But if you like the original look, then I think if there is a Tennogen skin that could take it to another level, then it's worth looking into. Okay, so here is the Emperor Frost skin in its default colors. And now I may be wrong about this, but why I think it's called the Emperor Frost skin is because of its interesting helmet shape, which almost makes Frost look like he's wearing a crown. Now it also may be due to the color patterns, which make him look a little bit more regal. And that is something that is very characteristic of Hitsu San's work. He has always been, in my opinion anyway, a very skillful master of geometric patterns. He can make some very complex patterns, as you can see here, especially in the back, where his patterns are very detailed, and yet they flow together well. They're not wild, they don't go all over the place and make it look like it's all messed up. It works and blends in very well together. Now his front image almost looks like he has a military uniform on, and it may go well because of course if he's a Emperor Frost, then he may be for an empire that he is leading. Now if you look at the back, I am especially impressed with the back. I mean, this design is amazing. It's a gorgeous geometric design, and it's almost a shame to cover it up with Sandanas. So I may look into a lot more Spartan Sandana for this particular frame. Now with regards to Frost's helmet, I think Hitsu San has done a really nice job with the Emperor Frost helmet. It's a lot more detailed than his default helmet, and yet it's still well balanced as is characteristic of his designs. I mean, it really just looks really good, and I have to admit that crown on top of his head fits well with this overall design. I mean, it just really works. It blends well, it's clean, it's not unbalanced, and so I just think of this as a step up level, higher, sophisticated version of the default frame, and I think that's fine. Now, since this is fashion frame, although I do like his default colors a lot, I wanted to look into other options, and of course the other obvious option is to go light. He is Frost, and so you could look into a ice cold Frost look. And I'm using the ice color palette here, so his main color comes from the ice color palette, and I think this design looks really good again. And gives a good opportunity for people who like the lighter look to get a good overall design for Frost. Now here I have added some attachments to him. I've added the Daedalus shoulder pieces, the Edo chest piece, as well as the Edo leg guards, and I think he looks pretty good. Yeah, I've also added the Zanuka emblem as well as the Sigarta Sakara. I think that's what it's called. Now as for the attachment colors, I changed it and contrasted it a little bit, so instead of the ice white, I used a much darker look for the main primary color. So it contrasts well, but I still think it balances together well with the overall Ice Frost design. So anyway, this may give you some example of what ice cold Frost design may look like, but of course some people may not like either of those two designs, and so I put a third design together using completely different colors of black, green, and orange. I really like how this one came out. I'm not exactly sure why, it just gives him a very sophisticated Regal look. And so for me, as much as I do like the ice look and the default look, this may become the default colors for my particular Emperor Frost. The other thing is the colors work well with the helmet, and the crown stands out a little bit. It's not as good as gold, I guess, where you might want to use a prime sort of look for him. But I think overall this color combination, really, I like this color combination a lot anyway. Here I'm using the Steel Meridian chest regalia, and although it really looks good on him, I don't know how long I'll keep it because I don't want all the other syndicates to be running after me thinking I am an enemy of theirs. But overall, I think this design looks pretty good. Now let me start putting some weapons on him. Let's see, since I'm going with a Regal Imperial sort of look, let's give him something very Regal. Well, at least something that I think might look very Regal. So something like a Broken War might be really nice. Let's see if I could put it into a different holster style. No, that's not it. Yes, here. There, yeah, I think this looks really good. Yeah, he looks pretty badass there. Okay, so yeah, I think this just looks really good. It just looks very sophisticated sort of look for Frost, which is really nice to see. And of course you could see the really good back designs because I'm using a relatively Spartan Yamako Sandana. Okay, so if the Broken War is not to your taste, then of course you could look at other Regal weapons such as the Galantine. And I think if you take the Galantine Prime, it looks really nice with, again, this theme of Imperial regality. I mean, this just looks really nice on him. It almost makes him look like a Crusader sort of design. So I really like this overall look for Frost. Now for the primary, if you were to go Regal, I'm not exactly sure what would be good for that. It all depends upon what your taste is, but for me, maybe what I'll do is use the Dexibaris, and let's see if I match his colors. How would that look? Yeah, okay, that looks okay. I'm not sure if this is really Regal, but yeah, I do like the Dexibaris. It's a very nice, classic, modern sort of gun, so I think that may be good. Now, as far as the secondary, well, let's just change the kunai. No. Yes, okay, let's change the appearance. Okay, so yeah, I mean, this is how. This is how it ends up looking, and overall, I'm very happy with, again, how Hitsu San skin came out. This is the third skin I got from him after the Alata Mag and the Hagoro Mode Zephyr, and I have yet to be disappointed by any of his products. So in conclusion, there has been some recent updates with regards to how you can change Frost's appearance, especially with the introduction of the Haruka skin by the game developer. However, the Deluxe skin is a very specific theme. Yeah, some people may like the original theme or the original default look for Frost, and if that's the case, then I definitely would suggest you take a look at the Emperor skin by Hitsu San. It's a very well designed skin, and I think it takes the level of sophistication up a notch from the default skin. I definitely do like Frost's original style, and so when I saw the Emperor skin, I was very excited over it. And so in this case, this video has become a very much my personal biased review of the skin, just like every other Tennogen video that I have made. However, I do find that Hitsu San's products are actually quite popular amongst the Warframe community, player community, and so I do think that his quality of work is appreciated by many other players in the game. Anyway, so that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the video. I thank you very much for watching it, and we'll continue on with various Warframe videos in the future. And so until that time, we wish you all the best, and as always, Jaya, nice day everyone.